What's up with you? What's up with you? Back at it. Back at it, man. We're going to talk about Red for a minute. We're going to talk about Sexyy Red for a minute, man. It's Sunday morning, chilling. Get into Red, man. Let's talk about Red. I don't know if she's going to release that. I mean, she's got this cover song of the Jacksons. I mean, if she was underground, I mean, they do stuff like that all the time because they're so small. It's not on YouTube. It's pressed on a CD and they just pass it out or they sell it. And it don't really make any revenue. It's actually costs money to worry about. If it ever reaches the radio or something like that, they can be sued. But Jacksons are outraged. She wrote a filthy rendition of "Beat It," and it's disrespectful. Now let me make this point. Does it really matter? In the grand scheme of things, no. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to an elderly person. It's showing no support of what the people who came before you, the ones who set the trail, the ones who made it possible for you to make all of this money. She's making all this money doing music and all this money, not social media. The Michael didn't have social media. The Dr. King video where she was boxing him, which reeked of racism, absolute reeked of just racism. And she put that video out where she was boxing King and she was trying to suggest he would beat her up because of her filthy music. And you can look at it a couple of ways, but no, you can look at it. The other way would be it's disrespectful to the ones who've laid the path before you. And it's not necessary. And I get it. We know it's a clout chase and all of that. Oh, I'm going to get some, the Kanye West. Let me say something ridiculous. Let me put on this Klan suit. Let me do something and then drop an album. And then drop a song. Let me go to the airport and have a fit. And then, oh, by the way, get my album. So we get that. But there's even limits to that. There's just limits to it, man. And it shows you that she's Gen Z. She's Generation Z. She doesn't care. And they have no respect. None. They have no respect for the sacrifices, the talent. What is this? Okay, she's Gen Z. So what? We go back, 80, 77. So she's she was born, 70s, late 70s, early 80s. So her parents, well, for her, I doubt if it was true. She might have came early. She was born in the projects, straight up, straight up off the project, off the county. She says she's confessed that she used to strip when she was 15. Says she had an older cousin, and her older cousin invited her, and she said she was go, and then come back to high school and show off the money. And one day they got pulled over, and the police, they got pulled over something. The police needed IDs, and then they looked at her ID. She was 15. And she claims that other people in the group never knew it. And they was like, what? You what? You know, so she grew up stripping with no respect, you know, and you know, the black community, right? It's what they consider worth something. You know, it could be worthless to some people, you know. And that, you know, so and Sexy's from that crowd. Sexy's from that hip hop community. Sexy is that from that F you pay me community. That's her. They don't care. You know, the song is disrespectful. It's filthy. I can see a rendition, but if you're just going to put filth in it, it's an explicit song. She shouldn't have done that to the Jacksons, man. She should have had more respect and understood the struggle, the struggle that this guy had to go through, and how he laid a pathway for people like her. Michael opened up the MTV. Michael opened up the pop community for black artists. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's transition made it more common for black artists to appear on pop stations or rock stations. And if you're making money doing the hip hop, you should respect that. That's what I'm saying. You just off that, man. Like, hey, man, you gonna do that? If it wasn't for a guy like them, you know, we'd be doing the chitlin circuit. You still be doing the you make a black what they used to call them race records. Back in the day, if you was a black artist, they called it a race record. They didn't play it. Somebody could come in like a Kid Rock and redo your stuff, and they play it. Elvis Presley, he went in, he redid that guy's music. A black guy who died without the fame. Elvis got movies. He got opportunities that you can only dream of. And this song or whatever, just her with the way she chooses to draw attention is mad disrespectful. It's disrespectful to the elders. I mean, the elders and those who came before, and they don't even believe in that. They're ready to burn it down. And then when you burn it down, then what? And then you walk it right like, look, let's be for real. Single mom, come on, 2 kids. I mean, like, who? Come on, man. Who wants to marry that? Who in their right mind wants to deal with that? And I do, to a certain degree, feel sorry for the kid, man. She posts her kids sometimes on her social media. I feel sorry for the child, man. I do. You know, I hope that he gets a father in his life. But that is the Negro. Once again, this is the way the Negro. It doesn't matter. We're gonna burn down the history just so we can get some attention, just so we can get uh and then when you don't respect like Black History, right? This is Black History Month. And I think she did this last year around Black History Month. She put the Dr. King boxing video out and tried to make it look like King was disciplining her, but she knew what that would do. She knew it would draw attention to her, and it thrilled a lot of bigots and racists. They enjoyed that. The white supremacists, they love when Negroes disrespect their history. They love when Negroes do that. They love to see Negroes fight, and they love to see Negroes disrespect themselves and their history. And the Sexyy Red is perfect. She's everything they envision black women to be. Everything. When you look at Michelle Obama, we don't have to go there because of the age, right? But when you look at a black woman that's in the news, I got to say somebody in the news, they don't like black women like that. They're out of their place. They're out of their station. They're out of station. They're disrespectful. But Red, just like a Nicki Minaj, she's welcome to the party. And she's filled with self-hate and racism and disrespect to Jackson, and because people don't want to acknowledge what he did and how groundbreaking and hand transcending he was. They don't want to acknowledge that. They don't want to give that man credit for the way he came onto the scene and changed things. And even in a country that's dipped in racism, he overcame. He overcame. He was wounded, though. He did. He was wounded. Let's be for real. He was wounded. The bleaching or whatever, he bleached himself, trying to, it's a lot of pressure, man. Everybody ain't going to react to hostility and bigotry and racism the same. For some people, it buckles you. It doesn't break you, but you be somewhat bent. And that man bleached himself. And, he had to do, I guess that's what he had to do. And her respect is to make a filthy cover song, just laced in just, it's her, the music is not even, it's, the music shouldn't even be made. Uh-oh. Here we go. We got a troll. He says most elder blacks aren't worthy of respect, so the youth aren't respectful. Okay, well, not most. What about this Michael Jackson? Huh? You said, who would want her as a mom? Yeah, that's the scary part about it. That's the scary part. And she's single. And that's some guys out there going to marry that. With the wear and the tear and the tattoos and the kids, some guy's going to inherit that. And the lack of respect for the elders, the people who came before her. And then you say Black history. Well, if Black people don't respect Black history, why should anybody else? And that's one thing that Black people do. During Black History Month, they go out their way to disrespect it. I've seen that Morgan Freeman video 1,000 times. They put that out like it just happened yesterday. Who gives a damn what Morgan Freeman thinks? It's disrespectful for an artist to desecrate the music of an elder, an accomplished person, a person who opened doors. It's just disrespectful. Not to mention, it's some copyright issues, so it's disrespectful, and people think it's funny. And we mock our legends. We leave nothing, no legacy is built. That's why the Black community is in shambles. The people in it don't care. It's every man for himself. And it's a filthy song. It's not funny. She's got like about a 2-minute version of it out. It's just, I get it, the way she talks. She has a unique distinctive. She has a distinctive voice. It's very hoarse. if you if you into that, if you into her, I get it. I used to hear her stuff on TikTok. Man, I would her stuff's all on TikTok. I would hear the songs. I didn't know it was her until eventually I found that was her. She has a lot of songs, man. A lot of songs that's real popular with the youth. And when you talk about a Al Jarreau, a George Duke, a Miles Davis, Sammy Davis Jr., when you talk about these men, somebody brought up Mahalia Jackson. When you talk about this, they weren't hardly making any money, man. And they tried to make songs for a community that was overlooked. And they weren't chasing the pop dollar. They weren't chasing pop culture. They were chasing satisfaction of the group, of that people. Being able to provide for them entertainment and joy, that because they were being ignored. They were being overlooked. And Michael opened up MTV. Michael changed the music. And let me tell you something, it was a movement against him. And this, we're going back to the days of Ebony and Jet and Black Pride. I'm black and I'm proud. The James Brown, we going back. Black is beautiful. That's what's the 70s. They were trying to go up from racism and say black people need to be happy with the Malcolm X, happy with their noses, their ears, their feature, their Negroid features. There's nothing wrong with Negroid feature. They was challenging America to take a look at itself. And the Ebony magazine would have a Ebony Beauty. No, that was the Jet, but they would have a Black Beauty in there. And the Ebony would have successful, accomplished Black people to try to go against the normal rotation of thuggery that's highlighted in just about any community. They got on the blacks. They were saying, you got, they got on the actors and saying, the only black people on TV are thugs. You don't have any doctors and all of that. And they finally put professionals on. That's the Cosby Show. And that was his whole thing. He wanted to put that out there because he felt that element was not focused on. It's like there's more to the black community than just this, the thugs and the street, the people in the street, women were always whores. If the black person was something, it was dysfunction. And that's a different thing, but he offered that. And America loved it. And it spawned a lot of other sitcoms, with the different world. That was about going to college. They to a certain degree made college cool. But you go back to Michael stood out amongst his brothers. And they didn't want him to leave, and he struck out on his own. Named it Off the Wall. That wasn't his first solo, though. But he was, a teenager? And he crossed over, man. I mean, Off the Wall took off. It took off way better than, say, somebody said Rick James. Off the Wall took off, man. And what I'm saying is you could turn on the white radio station that was playing, I don't know, whatever the current music was at that time. I'm trying to I need to get on Google and put but you could turn on the white radio station and songs that were popular, they was putting, Michael was getting spins. He was getting spins on the white station. And what he wasn't doing, he wasn't selling out. He wasn't being a pop. And he was also better. And that's another thing about the Negro in this. And he struggles with that. He struggles that, hey man, you're better. Fuck you talking about? You're better. Man, Mike was a better singer than those guys. It was embarrassing. I mean, he was so gifted as a singer. I'm not even talking about his dancing. What's that song, We Are the World? Did you see that? Go look at the video on that. Look at how effortless he sings his lines. And then he looks at Cyndi Lauper and, what is it, Bruce Springfield. Look, he looks at him and he's disgusted. Like, that's the best you can do? And it's sad too, man. And I said, man was undervalued, disrespected. And black people have an opportunity to hold him to some high regard. And you got Sexyy Red, and she's got 2 kids. And she used to strip when she was underage. She's come out publicly and said that. And she has the nerve to disrespect this man. And we get it for some YouTube clicks or whatever. We get it, but damn. You know, the Martin Luther King video, now this. And why this? There's other people, there's other things she can do. But when you throw black culture under the bus, you are rewarded. Now, we talk about these guys on YouTube. We talk about the YouTube guys, right, who claim that what they're saying is so cutting edge when they're just pandering to white racism and giving you a one-sided account and trying to pretend that they are actually qualified. And these people, like I said, these people would be raking my leaves. All of this stuff, all of this counter commentary in the black community and all of that, and it's really nothing but hate and bigotry. And that's the funny thing about Red. That's what she's appealing to. She's appealing to all of the people who hate the Jacksons. And what are the Jacksons? A wealthy black family. You don't like them, don't listen to them. But there's a seething resentment for black success in America, and she appeals to that. And they're gonna get it. They like that. They like throwing Mike under the bus because call them names. You know, what's the guy? Muhammad Ali fought the white guy, and he beat the white guy. I can go look it up, but Muhammad Ali had a fight with this white dude, and the white dude gave him a little bit. He held his own, and then Ali knocked him out. You know, the greatest. Do you know that white dude would go on to become CEO of Coca-Cola in Germany? Let me go look. I got to go look it up. I believe it was Ali. It might have been someone else. Because when you say back then, that's going way back. That's almost the 40s, so it couldn't have been. I don't know. It might have been. Anyhow, I think was it Joe Louis? Anyhow, the guy that he fought, right, wound up being a fucking doorman at the casino. He burned through his money. He knew some people, I think Sinatra, and they gave him, he damn near worked for food. He stood in front of the casino and they advertised, meet the famous former world champion, Joe Louis. Was it Joe Louis? Yeah, it said they put that on there. You can come, you go in the casino, you get out, you can say, hey, Joe. And he's right there, man, standing there. greeting you. You know, he's got on a suit, but he was damn near working for food. He damn near was just working for meals and room and board. I think Frank saved him. And then when you go and look at the guy he beat, the white guy, that white guy was CEO of Coca-Cola in Germany, and he was just a boxer. But they saw opportunity with him, and he had a future. This Joe Louis dude didn't have it. That's what I'm saying. This is the struggle of the black man, and this chick is making fun of that. And I see it, man. I get it. And I'll give her, she's got a very raspy, she's got a raspy ghetto voice. But I don't think she really know. Well, I think she's smarter than people let on to. I really do. I think the appearance, I think she manipulates people with her appearance. I think she's a lot smarter than people give her credit. She knows what this is going to do. She knew what that Dr. King video would do. And she knows she's not going to miss any show. She'll be right there. Whenever BET puts their award together, she'll be right there on the stage, half naked, full of tattoos, with colored hair, singing her profanity-laced music. And there's going to be a group of people who want to see this. And it's disrespectful to me, man. But this is Gen Z, and I think people have come to a conclusion that Gen Z is pretty much, they're very, very disrespectful. They don't respect the struggle that blacks put in for them. They don't care. They were born in the 80s, born in the 90s, real disrespectful. Could care less about the past. Michael Jackson is a mystery to them. They don't know who that was. They certainly when he was young, they don't know who that is. They don't respect him. That was Joe Louis. Yeah, and Joe Louis, I think he died broke. And he had to go through that because he didn't have those opportunities. But what he did, he opened up the doors for guys like Floyd Mayweather to get rich. You look at PJ Washington. PJ Washington just bought his wife $1 million Rolls Royce. Because, you know, NBA, he's making a lot of money. He gets big money. But if you go back 30, 40 years, those guys made money, but they didn't have enough just to spend $1 million on one car. The TV contracts now, the NIL. This is what you get, bro. You're going to get just mad disrespect. He says some of the ignorant rappers are actually intelligent. That's how they finesse. You're right. Some of them are. Some of them are, and some of them play both sides of the fence. A lot of that is just an act. You know, when you look at the Rick Ross, what is that? He's pretending to be this gangster dude. Rick Ross, he made way more money with that name than Rick Ross made. The 50 Cent guy. You know, I mean, it's a hustle, man, but it's at the expense of the community. Black people, this is disrespectful to Mike. And I don't care. Okay, I don't like Mike, and he bleached himself. I don't look at it as a bleach. I look at it as a man trying to survive. And he just bucked, the pressure got to him. And I believe if you were under the type of pressure he was, you'd bleach yourself. You get in a tub of skin bleach and try to turn yourself white so that you can fit in. I believe that 100%. That's why I don't hold that against Mike. I understand the struggle. You see? We lost it somewhere along the way. We lost our way, man. People wake up in the morning and start texting, man. Here we go. I had to respond to that. And 2 Chainz graduated college. Nelly had a full scholarship. Yeah, yeah. And I think Red. Now look, I mean, the thing is, she's disrespectful. I think it's deliberate, though. I think she fully well knows what she's doing, but I don't think she understands the cost. I think to a certain degree, she doesn't understand everything. I don't think she cares. I think she could care less about what it costs. She don't care about white Americans disrespecting black Americans. She don't care. She don't care about Dr. King and his struggle and his assassination. She don't care. She don't care about Michael Jackson, and unfortunately, he was deleted accidentally. She don't care. And that's what I'm saying. And that's the disrespect you get from the Gen Z. They don't care. And the music is pretty bad too. 2 kids and a bad attitude. And this is exactly the type of shit chick that sends you to jail. With all of that we thugging. I used to strip when I was 15. I'm a hood chick. I got a nigga in jail. That's the same motherfucker sending you straight to jail on the first disagreement. She put them laws on you. This is mad disrespectful, man. We don't respect. She's a musician. She should know better. And if you guys, man, I mean, you could discount Mike all you want to, man. Mike was the man, man. Now, I agree later on, but you guys are forgetting what that was. That was called life. He was growing up. He became a man, and unfortunately for him, he started to drift. He started to drift, down a different road. And he bleached himself. And what people don't understand what that was trying to fit into a community of people who love your music, but they don't like you. And that probably caused him serious harm. And I see his daughter now, who's been on, I think she's off drugs or something. I don't know how that happened. She identifies as black. She says she's a black woman. What was the woman's? Was it Paris? She's come out publicly said she identifies herself as a black woman. And we all know if she would have grown up in a black community amongst black people, she wouldn't have been playing with that nose candy, man. We discount those grandmas. We discount them growing up. We discount what they did. They kept you away from drugs, man. See, that's what people they keep talking about Sexyy Red and the thugs and the savages that run around. They are there in the black community. But there's some wholesomeness, there's some goodness there, man. There's some grandmas who watching out for you. There's some grandmas, they don't drink, they don't smoke, they go to church. When they're taking you to church, and that's when you get your first suit, and they're taking you to church. You coming to church with me. Put that video game down. Come on, we going to church. It's there. And Sexyy Red needed it. She needed it. And see, this is when you just live like that. When you live like a what would they say, feral? Is it feral kids? I think in the 20s they had a real problem. You had disease and people's would pass away and their kids would be by themselves. And they had little gangs of kids. In like the 20s, they would group up in Chicago and in these cities. And that's how they survived. They would do all types of stuff. And that's when you get into your gangster and the guys would be little kids, can't wait till they can turn 8 or 7, and they wanted to be like the guys they saw on the streets. And this was whites. This was a white community. And they used to go out there and try to catch him and try to give him retraining. But a lot of them couldn't make it, man. And this is what happens when you grow up with minus faith and you just grow up rogue like that. You got Red up and she done disrespect the king. You gonna throw Michael Jackson under the bus? We get it. You want some attention, but can't you find something else? And we don't even know her deal. I mean, a lot of times they sign them bad deals anyhow. They make the company 30 million, they get like 300,000. Like the string. He said, I don't know her. I got you. He said she gives you signs she was traumatized. Okay. Okay. Uh she said a black man traumatized her. Okay. It's possible. She said she was in these clubs at a young age, at an arrestable age, that the men, if they would have raised that club, them dudes would have went to jail, man. The club is not supposed to let someone who's not of legal age in it, but that don't mean they give the customers a break. You go into a club and there's a dancer in there or dancers and they are not of age, if they raid that club, your ass is going to jail. They're not going to let you go. They're going to take you down. Now, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the charge is going to stick, but yeah, you can't do that one, bro. Yes, she's disrespectful. She's Gen Z and she's consistent with she is consistent with those who are. Those from that generation. Like the stream, man. This is disrespectful. And I can see it. And now our historical figures have become nothing but opportunities for this new generation. And if she's been traumatized, she needs to go and get the help. But you got to also understand we're in a society where they like to see this. A dysfunctional black woman who's half naked, tattooed, red hair. They like the society. This is a modern day minstrel. This is a minstrel show. This is you know, you can go back and look at the cartoons. This is what they were writing when they had the movies Disney banned, the images that they would have of black people. This is nothing more than a modern version of that. And now she's disrespecting people from that community who have value. And yes, this plays into white supremacy. This plays into what their desires. Because under that, you can't have a hero anyhow. You're not allowed to do. That's like a slave. Slave don't have heroes. You want a hero, the master. Just that he's everything. Like the stream, man. Maybe it's me, man. That's a lot, man. I'm telling you, 2-time baby mama with that type of attitude. Like the stream, brother. It's Sunday morning. We trying to figure this thing out. We all have a beginning, yeah? And we all have an ending too, man. And we hope that she changes before she reaches her ending. But it's the world we live in, man. We we're just in a different world, man. And it's encouraged in the world of social media. You see the people on social media. It's encouraged to be this way. You've got the Glorilla thing. I don't know if that's real or fake, but you know, We come from a different way. And there's no respect. And she's able to do it because there's no criticism. The Negro won't give her the proper criticism. So she's able to get away with stuff like this. Oh, the Negroes that show up, you'll hear Negroes on YouTube who talk about Sexyy Red and all of that. And them the main dudes. Them the main dudes that be up in her face when she was stripping. They the main ones was down there messing with them ratchets. Oh yeah, they'll come on here and claim themselves to be high value men and upper crust men. But they're on the back end, they're messing with the Reds. They mess with them. They like the little jail chicks. They mess with them. They hit them up. They give them a couple of $100. And that's how she knows that this thing right here, don't nobody care. And we used to be a community where things like this would matter. It used to be a community where they would say, hey, no, that's too far, man. We don't have that anymore. There's no central figure. Everything's a joke now. We've moved beyond where we need to be, man. And poor Mike, man, Mike, he did some stuff I didn't agree with. He did change, I'll give you that. He became something, I don't know what he became. He did some transitioning, when you say after the Thriller thing, so after that album, it's like I don't know what happened. And he bleached himself and he could still sing though. He could still out sing. Like there was I don't think anybody could sing as good as he could. But he got caught up, man. He just got the Madonna hanging out with Madonna, Elizabeth Taylor hanging out with Elizabeth Taylor. Dealing with the judgment and the oppression. And what about the video that he goes into the store and he's like, I'll take that. Who is that? Apollo. I'll take that, and I'll take this chess piece. And yeah, and they said he went in there and he bought all of that stuff. That was a man who was looking for something. And it was sad to see that because he should have been complete, but it was a lot going on that we'll never know about. We'll never know. I know they got the new movie out, but we'll never know. And I saw them dudes on the when they chose Randy's kid over those impersonators. Them dudes they were butthurt. They was over there whining about they didn't get picked. Nobody told you to go and get your motherfucking nose cut up and trying to be like Mike. Nobody told you to do that. So look, I'm like, what? They were there. He should have took me. No, for enough. Why? Nobody told you to go and alter your motherfucking self to try to look like Mike and then think because you look like him that they're going to put you in the movie. They don't want you in the movie. They're putting his kid in the movie. Let him get that bag. I was just looking at that. I said, we're going to talk about entitlement, man. One of them dudes look just like him, though, man. I don't know what that is. I think that dude white, that dude look just like Michael Jackson. He over there making some tick, man. He got a bag over there. He probably all on all social media. I know. I seen him years ago on TikTok. I think he's an actual impersonator for as a living. Like the stream. But this is what you get, though, man. When you don't give a damn about your history, people are going to make fun of it, you know. And then when you talk about the other races, you always hear these guys running around talking about the Asians and say, well, see, nobody messes with them. And people know better than to mess with their history. They know better than to talk about Jewish history. They know better. The only people who they get to, like I said, this goes back. This is black people. If you're going to know the history of blacks in America, if you're going to look at their history, they've always been made fun of. They've never been given things like, you know, something to look back to. What the Hattie McDaniels. Hattie McDaniels won an Oscar for Gone with the Wind. Klan was waiting on her. Death threats. That woman would later go on to die in an unmarked grave, forgotten about. That's the window for you to have a career. The step and fetch guy became the first black millionaire. Back doing Jim Crow. He was a millionaire with all of those bucking his eyes and running, and he sees a lion and the little shorts, black and whites. He looks at the lion roars, and he jumps through the window. And they show his shoes still sitting by the windowsill. And you can see him running in the back. It was comedy. They loved that. He became a millionaire. Hattie McDaniels died. She couldn't get parts. Nobody wanted to see a respectable black woman. They wanted to see a coon. And it's like that now. It's like that right now as we speak. And pay close attention to how the racists embrace this song. Because, see, they really don't like Mike because Mike is a challenge to the system. Mike goes against the belief that blacks are inferior. They don't like that. So watch how they're going to justify, well, I don't have a problem with it. I don't know, black people overreacting. I don't see nothing wrong with it. What about, and it's like you guys don't have anybody equivalent to Michael Jackson. They make fun of Kid Rock. like Kid Rock is on the same, like Kid Rock is on the same level as Michael Jackson. They want us, yep, that's how they got black people set up and configured to be clowns and minstrels. And that's what Sexyy Red is. I don't care what Sexyy Red says. If you was to say, hey, on a money thing, I'd say, hey, yeah, well, you making money. I do not doubt that, but I don't care what she says. I think she understands this world, and I think she knows that society wants her to be a minstrel, and this is a version of a minstrel. The red hair, the tattoos, the tongue out her mouth, the twerking, and the filthy songs, absolute filthy music. They look at us like that, man. We're nothing but clowns. And you look at a Mike, like I said, Mike challenges white supremacy. Anytime you have black excellence, it challenges white supremacy. Because white supremacy preaches that black people can't do those things. When you look at Neil deGrasse, right? That challenges white supremacy. The fact that he's so quick and the fact that he's so smart, that challenges white supremacy. Because white supremacists teach that blacks are not, white supremacists teach you blacks are like Sexyy Red. And the thug rappers. That's what they teach you. That we're gonna have to these dudes gonna wind up in prison. He's a thug rapper and he's 22, but he'll spend the balance of his life in prison. What's that? The fleece guy. He's 22, he'll go to prison at 23, and he'll die in prison at 64. He actually spent more time in than he spent out. And that's what they say, he's trash. That's how they look. That is the perception of the black man. And when you don't do, that's why there's so much anger toward Obama and his wife. They hate him because he's black excellence. And you can have a debate about, oh, he ain't do nothing for black. Okay, go ahead, have your debate. But I'm trying to make a point about why they hate him. And you have to understand, you can't just constantly be, not see the forest for the trees. They hate him because he's black excellence. So they got to find something wrong with him because it flies in the face of white supremacy. And they're losing too. That Super Bowl, maybe Trump is going to push everything in a direction to speed it up, but they're losing the culture war. And if you lose the culture war, it's going to be hard to govern. That goes back to fireside chats, the newsreels, where they showed the wars and stuff. They united the country with those things. They're losing the culture war, man. They're not cool. The white supremacist isn't cool. He's not perceived to be cool. And when the white guy is good, guess what? He's normally a liberal. And then country music, right? But even within that, lately the country music is pretty liberal. I know, man, and we don't own that like we should, man. Look, I don't care what people say about Mike. Whatever those were lies, and he went to court and he was vindicated. But as far as his ability to sing, there's nobody out there who was as gifted as he was. And the white supremacist wants to feed me the Sexyy Reds and tell me I should like her. And I said, well, she's got 2 kids. She's single with 2 kids. She's ratchet. Uh, they don't like that because the Negro's not supposed to have standards. They don't like that. See, whenever when they say when you do that, they don't like you doing that. That's why they disrespect King with all of the secret recordings. We don't even know if that's true. We don't know if they recorded King. You don't know that. J. Edgar Hoover didn't want a black. They said a black messiah would destroy America. Said blacks can't have a messiah. For all we know, that's some bullshit. The so-called King recordings, they made up lies, and dumb Negroes believed them. Because I've never believed that. From the time I heard, I said, wait a minute, secret recordings? I said, well, I don't know if they secret recordings. Should you even bring them out? And at this point, I'm saying they're just lies. And Red disrespecting and others, I think they finally put a stop on AI. I think I saw a video of him doing a crip walk. Most white people enjoy a Sexyy Red because she represents what black people these days support, the thug life. Yeah. No respect. You're right. It's almost like something in a zoo. It's not even a it's not even a society. When you say black history, do you notice that it's like it's like a unspoken rule that you don't celebrate it. Okay, we'll have it, but don't celebrate it. Now we know in Florida you can't celebrate it. In Florida, they outlawed black, so you can't make a distinction. So you can't say we're having a black history celebration because it's illegal. And it's an unspoken rule. You celebrate it, but you don't celebrate it. If you've been to the NBA, if you call that celebration, that's sort of ridiculous. NBA has every year, they have like Dr. King Day where they have a bunch of guys come out. You need to go to that. You need to go and see what they do at the halftime. It's damn near white supremacist day. They hand out so many awards to non-blacks. It's not even funny, man. It's not funny. You just sit there and you look, you say, damn, oh, it's over? They gave out 4 awards to white folks. It's over? It's over. Now shut up and let it go by. And play that Morgan Freeman clip 15,000 more times. Dusty ass Morgan Freeman. Like he's in some position. He got his ass me too. Trying to hang out. He went over there and started lusting after this white woman was pregnant. His white woman was pregnant. He went over, I think it was CNN. It's on, they got it on camera. She was pregnant and he said something to her. And the mother white dudes, they was quiet. They just looked at him. Next thing you know, his ass was losing shows. And I said, that's a fitting demise. And he's won. He's won now. He's lost his way. When I see guys like Morgan Freeman, this, not Sexyy Red, we know what she is, but the Tim Scotts, the Byron Donalds. I think of the circus act where you see the bear. You'll see a bear and he'll be on a beach ball and he'll have a tiny hat on his head and he might have a baton or something and he'll be balancing himself on that beach ball. And then everybody look around, that's a bear. And they'll put a little bow tie on him and a hat. That's what I see when I see those guys. The Byron Donalds, the Tim Scotts. No respect. Absolutely no respect. Disrespected her elders. She did it last year with Dr. King. She's just done it again with Michael. She should. I don't know how somebody who's in entertainment doesn't feel gratitude to Michael Jackson. I mean, and it's very possible she don't care. It's not even a question of her not knowing. She don't care. She don't care. She wrote a filthy, filthy rendition of his song "Beat It," and it just shows you how far we've, as a collective, how far we fell behind. Man, we're so far behind now. We're losing in so many ways. The Jackson family has publicly come out and denounced the song. See, it says the Michael Jackson estate has expressed that they were totally unaware of and did not authorize rapper Sexyy Red use of a sample from Beat It, calling it unauthorized. The song, which went viral, is titled Just Eat It, features highly explicit lyrics, and has faced backlash through Sexyy Red, has not directly responded to the issue. And just off of respect for the Jacksons, just off of respect for the Jacksons, you need to get rid of that. Well, it's too late to get rid of the song, but you need to do something about this. What happened to our leaders, man? What happened to our people? We have lost our way. You have all of these people who laid the pathway for you, and then you disrespect them. It's a, as they should, and she will be sued by Jack. Yeah, I hope so. I think they should do it now because she's doing it. She just doesn't care, man. And she's not the one to do cover music for him. And then you have to wonder, can black people have anything of value? Can black people have anything of value without without somebody coming back and mocking it? I saw some people making fun of TD Jakes and I'm like, man, I get it, man, but he hung out with Diddy, but we don't know what that man did. That man, that's a married man. I'm not going to sit up here and say that man was with Diddy. That man was at a party over Diddy's house. That doesn't mean anything. But black people don't have anything that's respectable. The only thing that black people are allowed to respect is who we're told we can respect. You look at the Obamas, former president, one wife, two kids, no scandal, still, influential, yet no respect for him. No respect. He's a socialist. He's a liberal. Let's arrest him. Negroes say he didn't do nothing for black people. No respect. So who do you respect? Who do you respect? I love Speed because he making money. I mean, who do you respect as a black person? There's a story, and I'm gonna talk about it. Like the stream, man. If you got something to add, man, you're welcome to join. There's a story of a down here by the river. There was a sign. Seen it. I think I seen it on a school trip, and it said a worthy Negro died here. That's what it said. A worthy Negro, and it was on a pole, and it was like a local plaque, right? And Negroes don't have any power, so Negroes complained about it, but they didn't have the power to take it down. But over time, as people would do research and studies, they went and they found out what exactly happened. And a Negro doing Jim Crow was down by the river, and he saw a bunch of whites got in a boat, and the boat was only for like eight, and they put like 12 or 13 people in it. So the boat was floating. It was low, it was floating, but then some waves hit it, and it started to tip. And the Negro just so happened to be down there on the river, and he witnessed it. And immediately that Negro jumped into that. He took off. He was a damn dolphin. He took off to that boat. He got to that boat, and he started rescuing bodies. And he got two people. He swam. You know how hard it is to swim, man? With you don't have you can't use your hands. He got two bodies. He laid them on the shore. He jumped back in, didn't even catch his breath. He immediately jumped back in that water, was swimming, grabbed two more. He managed to get a fifth one. He couldn't get a sixth one. And then as he started to go back out there, a lot of them had drowned. The one or two that was still up, the Negro was trying his best to save him. And in the process, he lost his life. And that's what I mean by that's why the Negro, he's willing to put his life on the line to appease. And anything goes. So, and they put up a plaque. So this Negro went out there and drowned when they wouldn't even let his black ass in that boat. He went out there and drowned. He couldn't even got in that boat. He saved them people, and all they did was put up a fucking plaque. And from what I hear, they didn't even fish out the body. So if you was to go down out there, and you probably could find his bones, his fish-picked bones laying on the bottom of that river. What's up with you, bro? And I'm all for good deeds, man. I'm all for, you got to do the right thing. I think he did the right thing, but damn. What's all these rules with the Jim Crow? Why you got Jim Crow? Look at these black people. They love you. Even under oppression, they look, man, that dude saw that boat go down, man, that Negro said, bam! That Negro was up under that water. He was about 5 feet up under there, wiggling to make up for that time, bro. That Negro went down, bro. He knew he had to help. It's where we are, man. It's where we've always been. And to show their respect, they put up a plaque. They put up the equivalent of the teddy bears. You know how you drive around? You know how you drive around the city and then you'll get to a light pole and you'll see a bunch of teddy bears stapled to the pole. And it turns out somebody had a wreck or something in the intersection. Sexyy Red has done it again. Stirred up a lot of controversies, wrote a despicable song about Michael Jackson, a filthy song about Michael Jackson. Well, not, she covered one of his songs with filth. And you know, that plays into the oversexed Negro. When they do that, the harlot, that plays into that character. The black person was always projected to be these things. The black man was projected, he was a savage, and his woman was a harlot because they were not like normal people. They were not humans. So when you see her and all she talks about is filth, which we know that's not unladylike, right? It plays into a stereotype that that's just the way they are. You know, you can see the guy look in his car. You can see the white guy in his car turn around and tell his son, his daughter, when they say, how come she always talks so bad, Daddy? Well, kids, they're not like us. They're not like us, kids. Look, you don't, look, they're just not like us. Now, that don't mean you can do it. Okay? Yeah, it plays into that. The thugs, the bootsies, the thugs. The focus on the thugs. The worst aspect of the black community. Big Red, what's up with you? Let me put my Cash App up here, man. We got the join link posted, man. What's up? Put this up. There we go. Plat for game. Get your game up. I gotta dust my I gotta get my boots out. Cause when I do my game streams, I put on my boots. I gotta put my boots. I gotta go get my boots now. They sitting over there, but when I do my game stream, believe me, I had to put my boots on. We're gonna bring you some more. We got some more game streams. We got a lot. And I see the Anton and Corey thing is it's sort of losing fire, but I see what they're doing or whatever, you know. We'll see where that goes, huh? Like the stream, man. Support the platform. We got Sexyy Red. She's went out and she's made a filthy, disgusting rendition of Beat It. Very, very low, grade, simplistic, something you'd expect someone in middle school. Just eat it. We get that. But she has to understand she's an adult and you can't, you can't do stuff like that. You're established artist. You shouldn't make music like that. You know, um, and it's a legend, the elders. You're disrespecting an elder. We used to care about stuff like that, man. I mean, we used to care. We don't care anymore. Our legends, our histories are defamed. We spit on those before us. We've lost an award show. You wonder why BET Awards don't exist? We've lost that because this Gen Z, they don't know how to act. They don't know how to conduct themselves. They don't understand decorum. They don't understand behavior, acceptable behaviors. They don't understand that. They think it's okay to blow a blunt on the red carpet, to have black weed lips in your interview. They think it's okay to be like that. They think it's okay to walk out half naked and bend over. And they took that from us. And I'm a black person. They took that from us. They took that from me. The BET Awards, they took that from us because they said we don't know how to act right. We don't know how to have an award show when we just too disrespectful. And the only time we act right, now hold up, this is where they're right. Only time we'll act right is when we go to them white folks awards. Then we know better than that. We put our clothes on. We blow the blunt out. We shut up and we clap. What's that Killer Mike? He got arrested at the Grammys. He won a Grammy and got arrested. And not to say that played to stereotypes, huh? He said, you can't have it both ways. You can't be concerned with black people image. And later on today, you're concerned with the street. If the street will respond or respect it. I don't know what you mean by that, brother. I'm totally, I don't understand you, brother. He said, no taxpayer listens to Sexyy Red. Probably not. That's not true, politics. And we've lost our way, man. And yeah, look, this is microscopic. In the grand scheme of things, in anybody's life, this is meaningless. Okay, I grant you that. But she shouldn't do it. And there's people out there who can talk to her and show her where she's making a mistake. And he said Weird Al did a remix, but it wasn't profanity laced. it wasn't filled with the, just degenerate music. Yeah, I mean, like, we don't have anything, but we're black people. We don't have nothing, man. Yeah, I know he won 3 Grammys. I saw him, and they handcuffed his big ass. They had to use 2 sets of cuffs, and I'm looking at that, and I'm saying, what is all of this? Be proud of my 3 Grammys. Yeah, they just arrested your ass. Something about the security guard. I think they dropped the charges and all of that. And I said, once again, that's us, man. We go out and we get arrested on the stage of the Grammys in some kind of way. We think we can talk our way or explain it. We no, that ain't what. Yeah. I got a Grammy though. I got a Grammy though. Nah, man. What about Will Smith? You got Will Smith smacking people. BT had to cancel their awards, man. Negroes, and see, this is supposed to be the Negroes with the money. These the paid Negroes out here acting like that. These are the paid Negroes with the chain on, big chain on their necks, the Jordans, the bedazzled Jordans with the glitter, and they up there getting locked up on stage. They up there getting locked up on stage, bro. And bringing discredit to the community. That's why. But the guy had his 3 wheelers. You guys familiar with 3 wheelers? ATVs. You familiar with? Do you see the type of? Have you ever seen the damage they do to grass? So when you move into a neighborhood and you got about 4 or 5 of them, it depends on if you're going to ride them on the road, which you're probably not. It depends on where you're going. If you go and chew up somebody's jogging trail or you chew up their park, they're going to say something to you. And I've seen that. I've seen Negroes come and tear the park up. I'm looking at the dude like, man, the grass all clean and cut and even. And you just said, these were 2 Mexicans. They went and tore the grass up. I'm just looking at them and said, God damn. God damn, now we're going to have mud holes this whole summer. And I'm looking at the dude saying, man, why are you doing this? Putting more and riding around in circles and just pulling up all of that grass, just pulling it up till it's just a big mud spot.
You know why they did that, don't you?
Probably because they lived around the neighborhood, I guess. I don't know why they did it, Mel. I didn't talk to them.
Your voice got softer just now.
Oh, well, I didn't talk to them.
There we go.
You got how you doing, Mela?
Oh, I'm terrific. I just wanted to chime in with your topic. It's distressing, to say the least. It's one thing to, how can I put this? I reviewed the lyrics. They're vulgar, no doubt. There was a time when Michael Jackson was coming around MTV that, Black folks were definitely proud of that. MTV had a history of excluding Black recording artists, and Michael Jackson, if I remember correctly, is one of the first. And so, it's not to say that people don't make fun of historical figures in any sense, but this is vulgarity. And a lot of people aren't slapping that word on it for what it is. There was a time in this country when vulgarity was illegal. And apparently that's not the case anymore. Apparently now people can just ride roughshod and nothing is to be hidden anymore. You know, there was always a time people who had speakeasies, just hidden clubs where they was performing debaucherous things. It was hidden. This vulgarity now is way out in the open. And it and with social media being what it is, children can they can access it. And that's what makes it sad. The woman herself, she's on a money grab. She has a certain mentality about life, and if she's gonna get paid for it, that's what she's gonna do. But I'm talking about in conversing with you, Platinum, the allowance of vulgarity, it should be curtailed because children have access to that.
Okay.
And that's not cool.
Yeah, I don't think she cares. And she's very popular amongst kids. And
Oh,
kids are
she don't
rebellious.
care.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm saying
Maybe
kids are
it's like
rebellious.
buy it. Okay. Thank you, little one. Make sure you buy
Well,
it.
they ran out of their school. Remember, she tried to go to, I guess, some kind of way. She went somewhere, St. Louis or something. Her
Oh, really?
people, maybe they knew a teacher, a couple of teachers, and maybe they just knew the people, like family or cousins, and the teachers were very familiar with,
Uh-huh.
the kids like them. So maybe the teacher said, "Hey, if you guys do good, I'm gonna have Sexyy Red come by and say hello." Oh yeah, and the little kids, right? So she was trying. She tried to come in there. She parked the limo and she got out. And she was half naked. And the word got to to the principal, and they caught her right at the door, and they turned her around right there at the door, right back to her limo.
Yeah, that's new information. I don't follow her like that. I'm just intrigued with this topic because I really never had taken rap seriously. Like n- not since the Public Enemy days have I taken rap seriously. Um and you're presenting a topic. I believe you're concerned for a reason. So I looked into this concern, and yeah, those lyrics are vulgar, seriously vulgar. And the fact that young people have access to it is something to be concerned about. Now, you say that young people like this rap artist, they like her.
They love Red. They love Spice. They love Glow, and
Wow.
they love Young Boy. And when I say young, I'm talking, because you got to understand it's a different world now. I'm talking about 5, 6, 7. I don't know. You gotta go talk to them. Why? They're crazy about these artists. They know the whole song.
Okay, so seeds are being planted, and those they'll grow roots. And I have no idea. Well, I have some ideas as to how it could be curtailed, but I'm not a legislator. Uh, I'm not going to bring it up in front of Congress or anything. I only have my thoughts. It's my thought that if any systematic blame was to really be put on it, I'm not talking about Sexyy Red as a person. I'm talking about what is being represented that a Sexyy Red can exist. And I'm talking about the recording artist, Sexyy Red. Um, you know, I'm not a historian formally, but I got some thoughts. It seems to me that it takes everybody by surprise when they thought somebody was worth nothing, that they turn into something. And that's the miracle of this country, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the miracle of this country is a nobody can become somebody. And so here it is. We got a, a preteen or a teenage sex worker, pretty much, you know, that transferred all the trauma, all the experiences, like everything that you can expect from that environment, and transformed it into being basically a mogul of influence. And you know, you know, I hate to say this, but she never should have been disregarded in the first place. And this is the danger of not respecting girls. It leads to boys, like say a boy disrespects a girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
That girl has a seed of bitterness, to be frank with you, a seed of bitterness that grows and grows and grows. And next thing you know, she's empowering herself. And when she empowers herself, she's going to see alternative paths before her. The I might as well unalive myself path, or the I'm going to show them what I'm going to make them bow down path. And she's chose the I'm going to make them bow down path. And how this is allowed to happen is there are no anti-vulgarity laws anymore. And that's my humble opinion on that, Platinum. I
Well,
don't
the
really
thing
have much
about
to
that,
say about it because I don't know it like that. I
I
have
got
no
you.
idea.
But the thing about those laws are racist. So I'm glad they don't have those laws. But um, and they
Oh,
use
another
that.
thing, before real quick about the black, using the word black in Florida. I just looked up the article, Florida A&M. They have an official statement that the flyer was prevented. The Black History Month flyer was prevented by mistake. That's their new narrative with that whole conundrum from February 10th. So I looked that up too. So yeah, I just came up here to chop it up with you. I'm quiet. You got it.
um, Obscenity laws and all of that, that's open to interpretation. And when you say racism, they do it to blacks. You know, they don't do it to the white artists. But then again, you know, if they just blatantly like that, yeah. But they didn't force them to say. And she's blatant with her disrespect, and that's fine. She'll get us some money, man. She'll get us some YouTube money. I think it's real big on TikTok. But she's causing unrepairable damage to the black community. And when you take a look at Gen Z, they don't give a damn about Dr. King or Malcolm X, the Vietnam War. They don't give a damn about that.
Yeah. All money isn't good money. That's true. I remember when Weird Al Yankovic did Eat It. Um, it was obscene for me to watch this man put his leg behind his head and roll around in the bed with food, talking about eat it, you know. And I guess because people wanted to consider it funny, it was funny. And so, with the background that she has, maybe she actually believed this was funny. And she needs to be informed, like, that's not funny, that's disrespectful. And she needs to understand the difference. You know,
The
I'm not
Jackson,
trying to hate on anybody's money. I'm just saying it seems to me that people have a strange sense of humor and the power to put material out there that they have yet to realize isn't funny. I believe she thought this was funny.
the Jackson family disagrees with what she's doing to the to Mike's memory.
She needs to understand it's not funny. She needs to understand that. Like yesterday, she needs to understand that this is not funny. In relationship to Michael Jackson's legacy, this is not funny. I mean, I don't care what you do with your private sexual life, but the disgracing Michael Jackson's legacy with these vulgar lyrics is not funny. It's just not.
Mella, the family has come out publicly and said that they don't approve of her doing what she's doing to that song. When you talk about the Weird Al, I don't know. He had to get clear.
No kidding, they came out and said that. No kidding, because it's vulgar.
I got you, but I'm saying when you talk about the Weird Al, I believe
I was just bringing up something. That don't mean it. That don't mean nothing. I was making a comparison of how different cultures use something as humorous, and her idea of humor comes from an explicit, dare I say, a compromised, explicit background, as opposed to his humor, which comes from a more satirical background. There's a difference. There's a distinction. That's why they can sue her. They can sue her in this regard because there's a distinction with the humor. Like, just say she comes out like, I thought it was funny. Why y'all tripping? I thought it was funny. No, there's a distinction between the vulgarity in this humor versus the satire in the other guy's humor. You know, there's a difference. It's not a, you know, anyway, that's what I'm saying. Because
she's wrong, and I hope they do sue her. I hope
it won't matter.
I hope they take it all the way to well, if she's violated it, so I hope they go as far as they can. And yeah, maybe if they get a nice big judgment against her, maybe she'll think twice about disrespect.
It won't matter.
It does matter. Well, shit, that matters.
It because it sets a precedent. That's what my concern is. The precedent of this being allowed in the first place is setting a precedent, and it has to be curtailed with a lawsuit. I agree with you. And depending on how hard it hits her pockets, she'll learn a lesson. Nonetheless, people who have been exposed, who are creative enough to come at a different angle, might just try it at a different angle. They'll just try it in a different way. It's like, oh, we just got to leave Michael Jackson out of it. Okay.
Well, that's the whole point. But isn't that the whole point? Do your cover, do your parody, but leave him out.
I think leave the vulgarity out.
Well, a lot of people feel like this guy, and and those before them, they laid the groundwork. If it wasn't for Mike, Sexyy Red wouldn't be able to make the money she's making. But then she turns around, disrespects the man. And that's what I mean. It's like, you're a singer, he's a singer. You don't have no respect for him. And clearly she don't. It's the same thing with the Dr. King little video she made about 5 seconds, 6 seconds, where she was fighting Dr. King, and she tried to get over and say, well, he beating me up. No, it's disrespectful. That man means a lot to a lot of people. Like the stream, man. Support the platform. I got that, Mella. When all is said and done.
Thank you. I saw somebody in the chat said that I'm trying to absolve Sexyy Red from any accountability. No, sir, I am not. I am appalled. I don't, I'm not critiquing your chat room, Platinum. I just noticed that when I was putting the link in there, and I'm glad I don't have to do that again.
You don't have to. You can respond to the chat, but you said you disagreed. Okay. At the end of the day, I hope the Jackson family, and they got plenty of money, I hope they talk to their lawyers. I hope they take their time. Songs are already all over TikTok. I hope they take their time, and I hope they're calculated, and they come in with a lawsuit against TikTok for allowing that type of mess to be played on their channel. And if they can, if there's some accountability with REDD, I hope they go after REDD. And I hope they do it to publicly say, you don't get to disrespect our brother. Our brother gave everything he could. And not only
Yeah.
that, he lost his life. He didn't even pass away by natural causes. He was well, yeah, he was a homicide. And the least we can do is just show some respect to his memory. That's the least we can do. So I think that they need to do it.
When it comes to the law, though, one of two things or both things can happen at the same time, in my opinion, that there can be a cease and desist order where it has to be removed. In addition to, I forgot the term they use when you get, the defendant has to pay money, right? Um, there's a term for it, but anyway, if there are penalties, financial penalties, it's basically
Well, I'm gonna have to
this.
go to court for judgment, Mello.
Yeah, the judgment in terms of her having to pay them something. Now, the Jacksons probably got super, super incredible lawyers that will gladly take on this cause. How much do you think that they should sue her for, Platinum?
I think the Jackson family needs to make a statement. I mean, the lawyers would compile whatever that is, but the big money would be with TikTok. I don't know how. I think YouTube is real big on copyright. If I was to play the song, maybe I might get away with it right now, but because it's to beat it, it's going to pop. It's going to catch that song, even if you try to sing over it. But TikTok, that's the big fish. If they're just about money, but if they want to send a signal, you gotta have Red, pull that song and make a public apology and go
Do
on,
you
do your
think it's
thing.
going to take an act of Congress or something?
You're all right, Mella.
I'm listening.
Mella. What's
What, is my microphone off or something?
it sounds like it.
Okay, my bad.
It's going act of Congress. What are you, Mella?
Oh, I'm
Where
talking about
did that come from?
oh, I
Uh,
thought you were
of
referring to an
Congress.
echo. When I mention an act of Congress,
No,
I'm
no
talking
echo.
about to
No
make
echo.
sure that nobody disrespects Michael Jackson ever
Oh, come
again.
on, Mella. Why would you say something like that? You're ridiculous, Mella. Yes, they say you drunk.
They always say that. They say you drunk too.
I'm not.
I'm not either.
You getting mad now, Mella?
No, I'm just keeping company with you.
Well,
And it
Mella,
seemed
you
like,
was the one. You was the one who said that stuff.
yeah, but Platinum, I just stopped by to say hi.
Okay.
I didn't mean
How
any
you
harm.
doing? Well, I don't know what you. Look how you acting. You didn't mean you. You never caused me any harm.
Yeah, I didn't mean to irritate the audience.
Mm. Well, this means really nothing in the real grand scheme. Long term, it does. Long term, this has a lasting effect. Long term, it does. But most people are gonna say it don't matter. Okay, that's fine. So don't start whining when people start making fun of your history and when they say Black history is nothing. Stop complaining because you don't even appreciate it. So that's what I'm saying. That's the hypocrisy of it. And I said when you get on Black History Month, Negroes shut up. They know not to celebrate Black history. Like the woman, we got a Black history dance, on the 15th, and that's it. They don't remember no history. Look at this, why you got Gen Z. These people don't know nothing about Black people. They don't know what Black people have done for them.
That's why I put it on my page feverishly to celebrate the accomplishments of our people. Feverishly. I'm constantly posting on my Facebook page, all that. I've been called corny for doing it, which is disappointing. Why is it corny to announce the historical value of the contributions to the greatness of this nation? There's some self-hatred crap that a lot of our people have a problem with. A lot of people are if I didn't know any better, are in
Like
denial.
the stream, man. Support the platform. Hold on. Yeah.
You got to call. Yeah, but I remember when I was younger and it used to be Black History Week, you know.
Yeah, like the stream, man. Look, it's Sunday, man. Sunday morning in America. What are you gonna do, man? What you gonna do? You gonna get it done? You remember Sunday morning with Charles, was it Charles Karoff? You know what I'm talking about?
No,
What was his name? I'm saying it wrong. Charles Dun Dun Dun.
you'll come up with it.
Sunday morning with Charles Karoff. Yeah,
You'll
he's
come
died.
up
He
with it.
passed away.
Yeah, you going way back if he passed away.
Well, he was old. He probably was in his 60s when he started doing the show.
Mm.
But that's America, man. It's changing, man. It's changing fast, man. A Sexyy Red really. I mean, look, I ain't got no problem with the woman. She was on food stamps, and well, she broke just about every rule you could break. She just happened to be talented enough to make it in hip hop. 2 kids, nigga in jail. Clearly, no concept of the history of black people with the Dr. King, and now Michael threw him under the bus. And filthy, foul mouth, always talking about sex. Yeah, no footing in religion or nothing, man. Just about everything you would say is bad. You know, she's managed to navigate that.
Mm-hmm. This is just imagine if she was unharmed as a child, you know, never put in the in that situation.
Well,
Imagine.
she said herself she was going to strip clubs to dance when she was clearly underage, 14, 15, because she had an older sibling or cousin who was dancing. And she said one day she asked her, could she come? And she said, yeah. So I guess it was a club that particularly didn't check IDs. And it was a club where you just pay, here go $30, and then you go dance. And then if you make, 200 is yours. And they didn't check IDs. Now, so it's from that perspective, she probably has been touched, but it was because she went to a place, and she shouldn't have been there because she was too young. Now she said that doing her interviews. I don't even know who this woman is, and I thought it was bold for her to say that too, man. I said, man, you hear that?
I think that's Cardi B's story too. She went to a strip joint that doesn't check IDs, and they let her do her thing, and now we have Cardi B.
Yeah, and she's dysfunctional. And a lot of people think the money is gonna make everything right. It won't. You'll have the money, but you're still gonna have those same traumatic, dysfunctional experiences. Look at Cardi, look at her. And see, these women have a lot of money, but men of value, they're not interested. They don't want you get man, look at it, say, damn. Used to be in the projects and you worth $3 million. You got a lot of hits here. You just signed a bad deal. Say when you get out this contract, you're gonna make you some money. Well, even with that, guys are not attracted to her because she's got a filthy mouth. That's unattractive. She's laced in tattoos. Um, and then she got a baby by a nigga in jail. Niggas ain't looking for that. Now, Well, now there are men out there like that, yeah, but most men ain't looking for, they're not checking for that. And then if she keeps being sexually active, she's gonna have another baby and another baby. So now she's gonna be out here 36 with 4 kids and some money. Nobody want to deal with that, man. That's too much to deal with. And poor Mike, man, he can't even rest in peace. Even his deaf people messing with him. We just a different people now. And in so many ways, I wish a lot of these YouTube people could go back to the 70s, go back and experience, the Black is Beautiful experience, and understood how Black people looked at themselves, and how important it was to carry yourself a certain kind of way, and bad behavior was looked down upon. You come on this YouTube, you got dusty niggas who would be better off raking my leaves. They got channels, they got big channels. They're thirst buckets. They're adulterers. They're niggas. He said, go back to the 50s, go back to the 40s. Go back to the 30s, go back to the 20s, go back to when we were colored. Go back to those days, man. But they don't know that. They just want to. I don't know what they want to do, man. That's where we stand, brother. And now I never thought I'd see a day where we just disrespect our past. Mike ain't nothing. Mike is a performer. He's passed away. But to me, not to the world, to me, the man means something. How you going to make your money being an entertainer, but you talking about Michael Jackson? You talking down on him. If it wasn't no Jackson, MTV would have never put a Black video on. And when they did play them, they played them at night. And then finally, he got in full rotation. But they were playing nothing but white music. And then finally, Mike spent some money, got a video, and he became mainstream America. Donald Trump knows him. Donald Trump said he used to come by the house and play with Donald and Eric. That's what he said. Now you go and try to figure that one out. I mean, that's on you. I look at that as they like Mike, and Mike came through and hung out with his boys because he got power, and he got the ability to say, hey, Mike, stop by, my kids love you. But we've lost our way, man. As a society, we've lost our way. And the Sexyy Reds looks like they're going to be the winner. That's sad too, man. Sacrifice Mike to try to promote your next album. And we don't care. Collectively, we don't even care.
That's why I joined your panel, because I beg to differ. There are a lot of people that care That was a hell of a blanket statement right there. To say
Those are what?
we don't care collectively. That's a hell of a
We
blanket
don't.
statement.
We don't care.
I beg to differ.
We don't care. I saw a bunch of black people, they were laughing at it. And I said, these are the same people who had a problem with the Obamas on the apes are the same people who think this is funny. They think Sexyy Red's filthy mouth is acceptable and funny. And that's why a guy like Trump can put Obamas on apes because he say black people don't respect themselves. They say black people do not respect themselves. And there's some truth to that, man. And can you stop Red? No. But I would hope the Jackson family, they have a vested interest. Jackson family needs to get this. They need to say no. Don't desecrate my family member. Take the song down, apologize, and let this be a warning to anybody who thinks they can just make up a filthy song about my family member. They got plenty of money, got plenty of lawyers. They need to do it. But it plays into a larger belief that blacks are inferior, and black history is not real history. Like the stream, man. Black history is not real history. It's not real history. Therefore, it should be ignored. Change this, change that, change this, change that. Says she trying to destroy his legacy. Looks like it. Looks like you look at a Dr. King. This guy was married, had a family. He was a church guy. He was a man who his daddy was a preacher. He came and he fought and he went places other people were afraid to go. So he was fighting for civil rights and he got targeted and he even knew that something was going to happen. And he lost his life, man. This man could have easily stayed up under his father as an assistant pastor. Uh, he had a wife, he had kids. He could have just lived his life and then took over the father's church when he passed away. He could have told Negroes, I ain't got no time to go out there and lose my life. But he didn't. He came and he did it, man. It was a different world back then. And you say, do you owe that man some type of respect? Yeah, you do. Just off of that, they say, hey, Red, take that down. What do you mean, Red? Red, don't do that to him. I mean, Dr. Kim, I'm mixing the two. She already put the one up where she was boxing the man. She put that up. The Michael Jackson thing, she just shouldn't do it. But once again, we don't care, man. I saw a bunch of black people, they were laughing at this, at that song. Yeah, she sexualizes everything, man. Yeah. The red hair, the tattoos, you know, her ass is out. It plays into a stereotype of a black woman. And that's why you say the Michelle Obamas, uh, uh, um, the black women, professional black women, that's why they have so much problems with those types of women because they don't. That's not what they look at as a black woman. Sexy Red is a black woman to America. That's a black woman. Michelle Obama married, 2 kids, no rumors. You don't hear anything negative about her. She's ladylike. That's not a black woman. And I hesitate to say it, a lot of black people think like that. A lot of black people don't look at her as, I mean, look at Michelle Obama. A lot of black people got a problem with Michelle Obama. They have no problem with Red. They think this is funny. They're not going to say it. They're going to privately, they're going to say she's funny. Privately, they're going to publicly say it, but on the back, they're going to laugh and sniggle and giggle. Isn't that something, man? What about Angel Reese, brother? I don't have no idea. That dude, somebody in the chat said, "What about Angel Reese?" You see what I'm talking about? What the hell does that mean? I have is the WNBA, has it started? Is it not going to start? Are they on strike or something? I think, how do you go on strike? You don't make any money. The NBA, man. If Sexy Red is an example of a black woman, then we are all in big trouble. Yep. The WNBA is on strike? Damn, how do you go on strike when you don't make any money? And I saw that they said we're gonna triple. I think they get. I think everybody gonna be making about $500,000. That's the cheap man. You know what? The NBA they deserve. The NBA deserves everything it gets. The NBA is ridiculous. They are ridiculous. You're gonna pay. Nobody watches the WNBA. They're not making money now. How you gonna turn around and triple the pay? That means it's gonna come off the backs of the NBA. The NBA doesn't owe the WNBA nothing. They got a league. Okay. You make $50,000 a year. Okay. Well, do you don't want to play? Go overseas. Well, we deserve to be making $500,000. Why? Because you guys make that's ridiculous. They got you no. That's why, and that is the NBA is a classic example of socialism. Yeah, and they're doing that. I wouldn't do that. If I was the NBA, I wouldn't do it. I said we finna dissolve this league. Go to the big three. I mean, go to the big three. Go to the whatever that 3-on-3 league. But hold up, brother. Why did you bring up Angel Reese? But see, you got to blame the NBA because they won't cut the cord. And I didn't know that. I know I haven't seen them. Are they on strike? How you go on strike and you don't make any money? And why do they deserve to be paid that much money? They're not even that good basketball. They're not that good, man. You guys got the rim smaller. The WNBA, man. You can have that, man. You making 250, you deserve 600,000 a year. Yeah, that's feminism. Yeah, and you could thank the NBA. NBA is behind it. The NBA is the author, and that's what I'm saying. You got all them brothers in there, and that's you guys. All them brothers in there, and you guys are sitting back throwing your money. That's money. That's money for you. That money, that believe me, that money's coming from somewhere. Somebody losing for that money, for them to spend that type of money. And the WNBA should have its own league. They should cut the cord, let the investors go out, create a 12, 13 team league, just like the NBA, just like the NFL. Yeah, it's got to start. Let it be independent of the NBA and let it go. It doesn't need the NBA anymore. Well, why would that matter? He says WNBA players want NBA money, but they don't even generate a fourth of what the NBA. Yeah, and why would that matter though? Why would it matter that they don't make any money? They don't care. Can you compare? Fuck no. Angel Reese to sex? No, how? Angel Reese, I think she's graduated LSU, man. We got to be careful with that, man. You guys, man, what is she, 22? What do you expect out of Angel Reese? What do you expect out of her? Other than her doing her job, she's a young woman, man. She's a young woman trying to live in a fishbowl. Angel Reese, I mean, not Angel Reese, Sexy Red, disrespected the Jacksons, the Jackson family. I hope that they take legal action. I think they warned her. I think they need to do it. I think they need to do it for their brother. I think she's wrong. Um, I can understand there's a comedy side to this. I get that. But you can't say it's comedy if you disrespecting someone. That's not comedy. Talking down, talking bad about somebody. I mean, talking sexual and all that on that man's song. That man don't want that ain't the legacy he wants. Like the stream, man. We got the join link posted, man. We'll take your thoughts. It's Sunday, 15th, man. We over almost over. Couple of more days, man. Couple of more days. We'll be in March. 3 months into the new year, man, just like that. He said she's about to have a OF. She might. Who you talking about, Reese or Red? Mm. You go ahead and celebrate Valentine's Day, brother. That's for you. A lot of that stuff that people bought, that stuff gonna get chunked. A lot of them hats, I mean, a lot of them candies and roses and bears, that stuff gonna get chunked. That's one thing about uh, those women when they don't. They gotta want that stuff. They don't want it from you. They're not gonna take it. Right here, you see that? Right there. A lot of people right there throwing a bear away. They tossing their bear. And they see that the bear, that bear ain't gonna change nobody's mind, bro. And God help you if you just throwing that shit out there in the wind, hoping it's gonna be whatever to push you over the top to be with her. God help you, brother. That ain't gonna work. I've certainly sent my share. You gotta be careful with that, man. That's strategic. I wouldn't send nothing now, though. I'm just saying because that ain't what you need. You said Angel Reese gonna get a OF. I guess, man. If you want to see that, I don't know about. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Reese. You can go to her Instagram, bro. Look the way she do her Instagram. You don't need a OF. But that's what happens, man. In the end, they throw that stuff in the trash can, man. It's so sad. You driving down the street, you see a big bear, and this is pretty much the way men, the way of the men. They're losing so bad. They're losing so bad. Like the stream, man. They're on their wits end, man. They can't. They don't know which way is up. And Red did a filthy rendition of Beat It. It was laced with all types of profanity. And she did the same thing last year about this time when she put up the video of her and Dr. King fighting. And when you look at elders and stuff, these people don't appreciate the elders. They don't appreciate the people who died for them. They don't appreciate those people. They don't look at America like that. They look at America as they are free to, be a fool as much as they want to be. And I saw that hair, man. I saw they were making hair out of a what was that thing? It was a fruit or something. It was a like a banana or something. It was like a banana tree or something. They was making hair out of it. They shred it down and then they color it and then they sell it as hair weave. And I didn't know that. I said, wait a minute, they putting bananas and shit in their head? He said, I mean, yeah, it looks like it. I didn't know that. I know plastic and real hair, but I didn't know they was. Sexy Red's done it again, bro. She went where nobody else could go. The black community to her is a joke. It's something for her to mock and make fun of. No, he said that we no. Nicki Minaj, I like big no. You can't even compare Sir Mix-a-Lot to you know what, man? We just lost, man, but that's fine. And I'm gonna say this again about the Negro. They had a Negro was down by the river, and over there you could rent boats. They rented a boat, and it's like only 8 people, and about 13 people got in the boat. So the boat, it was low in the water, but it was buoyant to a certain point, and then it got into waves and waves. It was so low that when it tilted, started to take in water. Individuals were being pulled out of the boat. Black dude was walking. He ran. He hopped in that water. He rescued about 6 people in the process. He lost his life trying to retrieve another. And what that just tells me about the Negro, man, it's like he's just so obedient when it comes to certain people. You know what I mean? I got you, man. Like the stream, man. Support the platform. We trying to figure it out. There's only one way to figure it out. Sexy Red's being real disrespectful. She don't care. She's made it a point not to care. Like the stream, man. Hit the cash app. Plat for game. Hit the cash app. Hit the cash app. Like the stream, brother. It's Sunday, Sunday 15th. We trying to figure it out, man. Red's done it again, brother. And some people gonna say it's brilliant, but I disagree with that. It's inappropriate and it's disrespectful. It's mad disrespectful. And somewhere around the way, we've lost our way. We've lost our way. We've made mistakes. The things that we say are okay. We think it's okay. We've given up, man. And at some point, you do just have to throw your hands up because you got to accept it. We've given up, man. We're lost and we don't want to change. And the things that's expected to be of value are not of value, man. We don't even respect our history. You know, that's one of the biggest things about a people is they respect their history. That's one of the most important aspects of them. The elders, people who've come before them, their ways. Most important thing they can do is their ways, the way they live, the way their history. Not the Negro though. Negro has no respect for his history. Negro's got his hand out. The Negro has no real history. Negro has no real history, so therefore anything goes. When you look at Indians, their ways, they're very, very committed to their ways, the way they live, their faith, how they live. They teach that to their kids. Not the Negro. anything goes with the Negro. Sexy Red disrespected Michael Jackson. Is it the end of the world? Nope. But she still did it. And that's how she eats. And if she's not going to respect him, who will? The ones who came before us matter. And that's how the Negro has been taught, though. When you say a Dr. King or the history, they've been taught not to care about that. Look the other way. Don't care about black history. There ain't no black history. It's all history, but the black people don't count. Black people don't count. Their participation is irrelevant. And once again, it goes back to that Negro who jumped into that river, man. And that Negro hit that man. Negro ran and just propelled himself into that water. He went up under that water and came out like 15 feet and started stroking the save. In the process, he lost his own life. Self-preservation, where's that? And what does that remind you of? Here we go. The Jackson family had spoke out. Says they're against the sampling of Beat It. They've come out publicly said they never authorized her to use his music. They specifically said it's too explicit and it's distasteful. There has been issues in the past with her. There has been issues in the past, man. But what do you do? As a person, what do you do? I mean, we just used to be a different people, man. Black History Month meant something. You would see people proudly, walking around. You would see uh, uh, eagerness. People eagerly sought to learn about Black history. They thought about people who had came before them, and they envisioned the future better because of those people. And some guy he wrote, he said, "How come you guys never celebrate Medal of Honor winners during Black history? Y'all busy talking about rappers." And he's right. He's right. No, I'm not saying Red. He's talking about admiring them. Somebody just showed off a big bag of money. That's what he's talking about. Some rapper is videotaping himself going to Johnny Dang and buying $1 million worth of jewelry to stick in his mouth. That's what I'm saying. Like the stream, man. We've lost our way, man. But and and you understand the Negro, they're gonna allow this because this is what they do. And this is why the community is what it is, man. And yeah, and this is the Slaw channel. And we're gonna be back to the Slaw, man. You guys gotta understand we can walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. We don't have to just talk about one thing. What Red did is wrong, man. And I would hope her fellow brethren would call her out. I would hope that they could put pressure where she don't release this thing. But this is a habit with her. She consistently does something disrespectful to black people. She did it last year, Dr. King. Now she's going at the mic. And we've just forgotten, man. We've gotten to the point where it's a point of no return. But we just don't care about each other. We don't care anymore. Like the stream, man. Reach down there and hit the like. Sexyy Red has done it again. She did a remake of Michael Jackson's Beat It. It's vulgar now. She did it without permission. And this is where we stand, man. Like, share, support, man. Reach down there and hit that like. How many people are gonna make excuses for Red? And she makes her money off of black people. That's where she gets most of her bread from. That's where she gets most of her bread from. Black people. Then she disrespects them. She talks down to them and she disrespects them. Yet she's proud enough to ask black people for money to maintain her life. She shows up on your news feed where she's got a videotape. Some guy with an ankle bracelet is doing things to her and recording it. At some point, you don't have a choice, man. You got to intervene. And somebody in that group's got to say something. They got to say something to her. And they got to end this, man. They got to end this. We can do better. I know we can do better. I know we can do better than this, man. Like the stream, man. Sexy Red. She don't care, man. Like the stream, man. Yeah, I'm sure it is. He said Valentine's Day stuff is marked off. Yeah. Yeah, if it's why it's over. They make their money that day. They make enough money in sales to survive the whole year. You're gonna have your weddings, your funerals, but they go by the sales they make that day. And yeah, who's gonna buy a Valentine card today? Who's gonna buy a Valentine's card? You can buy, man. You ain't even got to buy that stuff. Just go to the trash can. If you go to the trash can, you can pull out teddy bears. Get a hose, spray it down, and hand it over. And if you go to, I see them teddy bears all the time. Sexy Red, Sexy Red, the rapper, Sexy Red, has made a rendition of Michael Jackson's "Beat It." It's laced with profanity. Last year, about this time, she did a AI with Dr. King where she tried to act like he was fighting her. It was disrespectful. Now she's going after Mike, and just, she has no respect for her elders. She's a classic Gen Z. She don't care. Life began when she was born. She don't understand things happened before her. But who's really surprised with the Negro? Because isn't this how it goes with the Negro? This is how it goes every time. This is how it goes with the Negro. He doesn't respect his history. He mocks his history. It's an opportunity for him to make some money, or her in that manner, her to make some money. She doesn't care about the damage she caused. She could care less. This is the way of the Negro. This is how they think. You look at YouTube, right? We used to be a country of accomplishments, achievements. You come onto a YouTube, you got a dusty nigga who happened to join YouTube, what, in 2018? So now his channel is big. But that doesn't change what he is. He's a male version of Sexyy Red. Male version. Exactly like Red. And lack of respect for the elders, though, man. Ultimately, that's going to come back to hurt that person. Ultimately, it's going to come back on that person. And she's done this before. So they're trying to diminish. Yeah, well, I never looked. They said she's trying to diminish black men. A Dr. King. Yeah, she went after King. Now she's going after Mike. Yeah, you can make that case that she doesn't respect those men. You could make that case. You would say, why you pick those two targets? And why do you think people want to hear your filthy mouth? Why do you think people want to hear you talk sexual? And to a certain men, there's a group of men, they like the ratchets. There's a certain group of men, they do like ratchet women, they do. But there's also a certain group where we don't respect ourselves, we don't respect each other. And we defame us all the time. When you look at a poor Michael Jackson, look at what he went through. He went through holy hell. Some people believe, I know he got the skin condition, that he bleached himself, because the whole thing is, why you want to go, why don't you bleach yourself white? I mean, black. Why don't you darken the whole body darker? He bleached himself white. And then a lot of people, when they bleach, they don't want to tell the truth that they're bleachers. They don't want to be honest about that. We've lost our way, man, and I don't think things are going to change. I think they're going to get worse before they get better. And we don't respect people anymore, man. We don't respect the people who cared about us. And you can say it's a money grab. Platt, why do you care? It ain't nothing but a money grab. Well, it's going to have a lingering effect. Ultimately, it's going to affect you. No matter what you say, it's going to affect you. And that's the whole point. He said, I listened to the song. It appears weird. Might have. You think so? Oh, you out of your mind, man. You know damn well where that song came from. You're crazy. You guys, but you over here you already making excuses, man. You know, that woman don't know who no fucking Weird Al Yankovic is. I don't even know if Weird can if he can copyright that song, because that's the Beat It beat. Isn't it something that white man made a whole career off making fun, just doing cover songs? We'll see. You know, Sexy Red needs to be called out, man. Simple as that. You got a lot of people. You got the Chris Browns. You got a lot of people out there, and they say, "Red, don't do that. Don't disrespect." Yeah, Mike is loved by a lot of those people. They're not going to think that's funny. They're not going to think that's funny. So, and the family's already upset. Somebody needs to step in. I'm not saying nothing violent. I'm saying they need to talk to her and see if she'll, understand. I don't think she. Well, I think she don't care. I think she understands what she's doing. I just don't think she cares. Like the stream, man. I don't think she cares. I think she's going to do what she wants to do. Like the stream, man. Hit the cash app, man. Hit the super chat. Says, this is disgrace to Michael Jackson and his music. People like you should never be allowed in the music industry. This is so disgusting and disrespectful to his legacy, and a lawsuit is on its way. Disrespectful to the king of pop. Sexy, please stop. This is terrible. This is horrible. This is disrespectful. Why do you have to ratchet everything up? This is so disrespectful to Michael. Like the man really put blood, sweat, and tears into his music, and you're going to make a mockery of his masterpiece. I never hated something so much before in my life. Somebody jumped in and said, "You too woke." You see what I'm saying? Mike didn't die for this. His people upset. Yeah, I'm looking at on her. This is on her page. People don't like this. Most people don't like this. You know you're about to get sued, right? Sexy Red is the Michael Jackson of our era. You about to wake Mike up. Yeah. A lot of people got issues with the whole Michael Jackson thing, and it's disrespectful, man. Michael approved of Weird Al Yankovic, but the family doesn't approve of the sexually explicit version, brother. So that matters. How you gonna how you gonna cover a man's song and then claim that you own his song so that if somebody covers it, it has to go through you? You guys are reaching for straws with that, bro. I don't think Weird. I don't know what they gave Weird. I don't know if they chopped it up, but that goes to the family of Michael Jackson. All of that revenue goes back to the family and estate of Michael Jackson. Sexy Red's at it again. She's got another song. We're going to see how it plays out. She's done it again. And she keeps doing it. Like the stream, man. You can hear the song. It's on social media. Just go eat it, Sexy Red. It's going to pop right up. I think she's supposed to be releasing it today. She's got a like 90-second clip of it. It's real immature, real childish. It's type of song that you can live without. Like the stream, man. Well, we finna go ahead and shut this down, man. We appreciate you, brother.